Yeah, good morning everybody to our live stream, second week, Cloud ERP. I hope you had a good weekend and yeah, we have now the chance to focus again on our journey, on our joint journey, Cloud ERP, after everything that happened or didn't happen at the weekend. So this new day brings new opportunities. This new week brings new opportunities to go one step into making Cloud ERP work for you. So maybe this is the week you go the next step to make Cloud ERP work for you. At least the first step you've already done. You've joined our live stream. And so welcome to everybody on LinkedIn and on YouTube for this second week of daily live streams. So I've brought something today again. I brought a coin, a silver coin. Look here, a silver coin. This is a coin from silver. It glitters in the sun. Maybe you can see that. It is a memorial coin, United Nations Decade for Women, $5. And it's Queen Elizabeth on the other side. It says Solomon Islands. It's from 1985. So something that reminds us of, look how it glitters. Yeah. So something that reminds us of value. Value, yes. Which is our topic of today's live stream. And it's sometimes hard if you are in the software business, because software is invisible, you know, and how can we make things visible? So with this coin, at least we've made some visibility a little bit about value it creates, or we want to create, we can create with Cloud ERP, which is the topic of today. So yeah, let's increase margin with built-in best practices in S/4HANA Cloud. So also join us on Menti. If you joined last week in our live streams, you know that already, because we want always to have this to make an interactive experience. We do always at the end a poll or some quiz for fun, making it a little bit more engaging for everybody and even informative what everybody thinks. And you also have the possibility to ask questions. And I will have a look at them at the end. And if there are questions, you can submit them. Should be on every slide the possibility, or at least on some slides, to ask questions. Good. So this was the poll of Friday last week. How much productivity gain by which user experience concept? So we had the topic of user experience, and I showed some examples of S/4HANA Cloud. User screens and interaction patterns, and so that we can see how this software works, how you can work with the software. And we had certain principles we discovered about the user interface of S/4HANA Cloud, and we did a ranking. We said, okay, how much productivity gain do we expect by which user experience concept? Yeah, and this was the result. So most participants voted for collaboration and insights, and also suggested actions. Basically, that is this situation management, which is able to detect certain situations in your system, like a new purchasing contract is available. You could use it in existing purchasing requisitions, for example, or other, like there is some certain amount or percentage of unposted supplier invoices or something like this. So some situations, and even you can define them, and even the system makes a suggested actions which can speed up your process substantially. So that got the most points. Intuitive role-based design, we had some examples, was the next one. Personalized dashboard, which is also nice. Simplified navigation, process charts and list, which was some of my favorites, but it didn't make it to the top so far. And consistency across devices, so also using mobile. Yeah, so that was our latest poll we did last week. Yeah, today it's about value. And yeah, if we think about and consider how can we create value with Cloud ERP S/4HANA Cloud. Yeah, I think there are several components of that additional value. So one component, for example, is the so-called TCO, total cost of ownership. So there is some, if you compare Cloud, S/4HANA Cloud, with, for example, ERP on-premise, yeah, then you have a new calculation of cost, yeah, total cost. Because it's not only the software you have, it's only not only the implementation project you have, but there are different components of this cost. So obviously, I didn't personally calculate these costs. Yeah, so we have to rely on studies that, in this case, Realtech Consulting did some years ago. Or yeah, Realtech Consulting did, and also, of course, this is only a perspective. Yeah, so it's not about the exact numbers but it's about the principle. Yeah, so what do we have, for example? We have on-premise, you have the hardware and software investment. In the beginning, you have to buy some licenses, obviously, and some computers. You have the implementation, which is the project you have to do to configure the system and so on. And then you might think, okay, that's it. No, it's not, because you have hardware, software, ongoing costs, 11%. Yeah. And also you have operations, 33%. So what is that operations? Yeah, you have to monitor, you have to see, check your system regularly. You have a center of excellence, which is called when there's a problem and fix it, and how do we do this, and fix data, and so on and so on. Yeah, so there's a lot to do, and it's a big cost block actually. Yeah, 33%. So that cost block even is the same amount if you add up hardware software investment, implementation, and hardware software ongoing costs. So wow. Yeah, and also continuous improvement projects like even upgrading. Yeah, no, upgrade is an extra. Like, for example, cleansing up data, or considering to use new functionality and reconfiguring the system. And here we have this upgrade. This upgrade is also a big cost block for many, because they have like legacy software, or I should say special developments or custom developments. Yeah, custom developments which might interfere with a standard development and interfere with upgrades. So this is a big project for many, 16% cost. So that adds up to a total cost of ownership. Yeah, if you compare to that Cloud, S/4HANA Cloud, then we have a different distribution of costs. So for the initial hardware software investment, it's only 2%, because obviously you need not to buy hardware, or at least not much hardware. Yeah, of course you need a desktop to access the system or something like this. Maybe you have that already for every employee, or mobile. But you have not to buy certain servers for the computer, because the servers obviously are with SAP or on a hyperscaler. So, and then the implementation, and this is why it is slower, with best practices. This is also a topic today. Implementing with best practices also reduces cost. Then this might be a little bit surprising. It's bigger, 28%. Ongoing hardware software costs. Why is that? This is because it is a subscription model. In the beginning you don't buy these software licenses, but you have ongoing costs of using the software. But the good thing is, obviously, you use it only as you pay only as you go, as you use it, how much you use it. So how many users you need, for example. And then after each year or after each contract period, it can be adapted to the individual needs of the company. So the cost can be adapted. So yeah, this 28% ongoing hardware software costs and operations has been proven to be much lower than in the on-premise world. So it's 14%. So there's a lot of simplification in the system, a lot of standardization, a lot of streamlining, and that's exactly what gives this whole additional value. This using of standard processes, using of best practices, and sticking to them. And this is creating a much better cost efficiency ratio for operations, actually. And also continuous improvement projects is lower cost, and upgrade is even more shrinking. So if you add everything up, there's this margin of, in this study, 29% for the customer. So for your clients, if you are a consultant, for example. So this is where we create the value. So how is this known? Is this something out of the air or something like this? No, because this is what SAP has taken an effort to create so-called business value references. Business value references are from different companies, from different industries, in which you have customers which use S/4HANA Cloud, and then there's an investigation like before and after. And to compare these key figures between before and after. And here are some examples from different lines of businesses, for example. Asset management, for example. 50% reduction in lead time, more accurate assessment of asset capacity and potential for overload work. And then how? Manage assets more efficiently, eliminating a daily 3-hour manual asset management process and removing human errors. So this is one example. Another example from finance. So 50% reduction in time needed to close monthly accounts. This is always a problem in each company, period closing. This is so much work and it's delayed. And if you can speed up that process, that is brings you cash into the in the Kasse. 1.5 times more payment transaction managed by the same number of employees. It's speeding up the process. Okay, sales. 7 times increase in order processing capacity, which is great. How do they do that? Reduced administrative burden by applying robotic process automation in billing. Consider this. If you can be relieved from repetitive tasks which you have to do manually, or you can automate them. Like then you can concentrate on only those tasks which are like extraordinary tasks. And then you can speed up your work, and you can even make your work more interesting, because who in the world wants to do repetitive tasks? Procurement, saving 2 million by reducing duplicate purchase orders. These things happen. This is reality, duplicate purchase orders. But how do you manage them? How do you then decide? And using automation of purchasing process for required materials, at least to the degree of 60%. Yeah. So there's nobody saying everything can be automated. This would be ridiculous. Of course, there are always human judgment needed, yeah, human discretion, human decisions, and so on and so on. But this automation thing is about empowering humans, yeah, so that they can focus on the right things to decide, yeah, so interesting and not the routine work. Yeah, and there are other examples, yeah, from R&D and engineering, manufacturing, supply chain, and IT, for example. Yeah? These are so-called value references, and these value references, you may say, what does it mean? What is behind it? Yeah, so I've brought you an example. It's just one example from the value reference lifecycle database from SAP. Yeah. So there's one company, yeah, Hangyang, constructing and innovating digital business processes and IT infrastructure with S/4HANA Cloud Private Edition. Yeah, and this is what I said. There's always something before and after comparison. Yeah, you can even call them and ask them yeah, if that they tell you what happened. Yeah, so before they had following challenges: a legacy in-house ERP application unable to meet the global compliance requirements of the International Financial Reporting Standard. So this is nothing unusual, obviously. Yeah, this is in many companies, if they are honest to themselves, it's often the case. It's not possible to meet global compliance requirements of International Financial Reporting Standards with the existing legacy ERP. And that is where then S/4HANA comes in, because this is making sure that you are able to fulfill your compliance requirements in international business. Limited system extensibility to support business expansions and diversification activities and preparation for an initial public offering. Yeah, IPO is also, so we're planning an IPO, and it was limited. The old systems were limited. They didn't have this functionality they needed, and also it wasn't so easy to extend. Yeah, obviously you can only extend your system as a custom development or to a certain degree. Otherwise you create a Frankenstein system, yeah, or something like this. So, and highly reliable IT infrastructure with best practices in business processes needed to support current requirements and provide a future-ready foundation for growth and innovation. So then they did S/4HANA Cloud. Why SAP? Flexibility and extensibility offered by S/4HANA Cloud Private Edition in this case. Yeah. So this is, you can ask what is the difference between private edition and public edition. Obviously we will also have a future daily live stream about that. Integration of legacy construction, business development, sales, HR and groupware systems using the SAP Sales and Service Cloud application. So that is not unusual in such a situation to use SAP S/4HANA Cloud plus one of the LOB solutions from SAP, which in this case is SAP Sales and Service Cloud, which is also in an integration scenario connected with S/4HANA Cloud. And this integration scenario is a standard integration scenario from SAP. So you don't have to worry to develop some interfaces or something like this. And advanced functionality for profitability reporting and data analysis across the enterprise. So what was the results? Value-driven results, automated and expedited financial closing process, as we mentioned earlier. There's a lot of functionality in S/4HANA about orchestrating financial closing. So certainly worthwhile to have a look at that. Enabled financial transparency through automated posting, electronic attachments and validation processes. Increased work efficiency by minimizing manual tasks. Laid the groundwork to roll out the solution to additional business affiliates. This also, if you have S/4HANA Cloud, for example, and then you can include your additional business affiliates, create an ecosystem using together. This is also, I will show you in the future a process simulation for that, for example. Ready the business to take advantage of machine learning and process automation capabilities. It's always about how can we use this intelligent functionalities, intelligent technologies in certain places to speed up processes which make sense. Okay, we need to talk about AI in the future also, which is also a hot topic. But yeah, here we have making use of machine learning to expedite process automation. Yeah. So what was then 50% reduction in the time that sales associates spent on non-core sales activities. That was also because of SAP Sales and Service Cloud, and 100% of manual tasks eliminated in functional closing processes, which is very high percentage, I must say. Maybe that I have also some questions if they don't have any manual tasks left, but that's what it says. So yeah, and then this was only one of these value references. Yeah. So you can imagine behind each of these there's a whole database of SAP value references, and it makes sense to have a look at it to understand what value can be created using S/4HANA Cloud, and also the other SAP solutions, obviously SAP Business by Design or SAP Sales Cloud and Service and so on. Yeah. So now we've got a insight into how these value references work, and what is an approach to substantiate value. What does it mean? It means it is not only about to implement an IT system, but it is about creating value. And creating value is done if you follow a systematic approach to substantiate value. So if anybody is telling, just buy this software and this software and then everything is fine, do you believe that? Well, I have difficulties just believing that. Even with the best software in the world, even with S/4HANA, it is a necessary precondition to create value. It is a necessary precondition to create value on a certain level, obviously, but not sufficient. So there is something else you need, and this additional substantiation of value is in that approach. And there are two approaches which complement each other. So we have already talked a lot about business process management. This is on the right side, and it is called bottom up. It is like what processes do we have? How do they fit together? How do our processes of the company fit to the processes of the solution, like S/4HANA Cloud? And how can we improve our processes? That is going down very deep and researching in every details. And even people, if they're doing this, they sometimes the value management approach, people say, wow, why are you doing so much details? Because the value management approach is like top down. It is like management driven, and both have their value. Both have their value, because this top-down approach is driven by KPIs, so key performance indicators, while the BPM, the business process management approach, is driven by process performance indicators. Maybe you can imagine it like a football game, If one team has many possession of the ball, many touching the ball and so on, passing the ball. This would be excellence in business process management, for example. But if they don't hit the goal, it doesn't help. So the left is about hitting the goal, and the right is about developing excellency to consistently hit the goal. Yeah, so you can still hit the goal sometimes if you're lucky. Yeah, for example, yeah, and then and so on. But how can you create an excellency in consistently and superiorly hitting the goal? So that is about business process management. But the value management approach is more like top-down, KPI driven. It is gives a holistic indication. Yeah, this is what we just had here. Holistic indication about some key figures. And believe me, there are much more key figures. But this is already very informative. So recommendations for improvement on a business capability level. Yeah? We can dive into this in some other live streams, but that is what this value management approach offers. And it shows that critical success factors are not transparent in this approach, because yeah, you can see, yeah, like what you can achieve, but you don't exactly know how you can achieve it. Yeah? How do you do that? And then it's the time for the business process management approach, because here it is like maximum transparency, clear indication of improvement actions, requires a system to capture operational metrics, and it's high credibility. And here we know how things are done and how we can reach them. But still, the BPM approach needs the guidance of the value management approach, because otherwise processes might be optimized which are like outdated or don't even fit to the company's strategy and strategic goals. Yeah. So this is why this value management approach is so valuable. So did you know that? I think this is an interesting thing to consider, and even time is up. So let us play a game. Let us play a game. This time today we don't have a poll. Yeah, we have a game which is join us at menti.com, and I will give you some little bit time more. And then you use this code 57902450 to join us in this game. 3 players are ready already there. And after you joined the game, it's a quiz. And you can win the quiz. Yeah? So it's a very simple question. I will ask you one question from this presentation, and there are only 2 options you can choose. Yeah, so it's the simplest question you can even imagine. Yeah, you can use your nickname to join. Yeah, and then you can answer the question, and then the tool shows if you are right or wrong. Obviously, to win, you have to be right. Yeah. But if you answer faster or quicker, then you get more points than the others. So it's also not only about correct answer, but also about speed of the answer. So it's a little bit like fun. Yeah. So we have 4 players. So let me give you like some seconds again, 15 seconds, so that you can still join, and then I will reveal the question. So you can still join, 5 seconds. Okay, now be ready to answer the question. I will now reveal the question. So answer fast to get more points. Look at your phone. Go. Which approach substantiates value with a holistic indication? Value management approach or business process management approach? Okay, we have 3 answers. all three answers are value management approach. That is right. So congratulations to all of you three. You have gotten the right answer. Yeah? Let's see now in the winner board who was the fastest one. So it was Tamas. Congratulations, Tamas. You have 725 points and you beat Dimitri and Axel. So congratulations. And I think this was a little bit fun to make some to consider what we learned. Okay. So let's have a look if there are some questions in Q&A. No questions so far. So next time we will already also have this question and answer slide, which I forgot to put in, but I see there are no questions for today. So time is up. Thank you for joining, and tomorrow we'll be diving deeper into the roadmap focus on landscape maturity, and we will discuss how landscape maturity has to do with the value management approach that we've addressed today. So thank you for joining. Have a great day and see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye.